Hello, welcome back or welcome to Stitchy Sam. My channel is all about cross stitching, so welcome back to anybody that's seen me previously, and also welcome to all new viewers. I really appreciate you watching today, and if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe and perhaps give me a comment on what's your favorite project that I'm showing you today. So today I'm going to shake it up a bit because I feel like looking back on my last few floss tubes, they were too rigid. I had far too many notes. I was looking down a lot of the time, so I apologise for that. I want to keep it more fluid and you can see more of me, hopefully, and I can show you a bit of my personality. So previously, if you've seen any of my previous update videos, you will have seen that I have been focusing on my annual SAL with stitching cabin. However, I am going to show you that, but not straight away, because I'm going to show you something that I actually sneakily got an extra day on yesterday on the 1st of August. So today is the 2nd of August 2025. So I'm first going to show you this project, and this project is called Mario Pose. I'm just going to rearrange all of my parked threads there. Oops, that's my pen going flying. Right, okay, so I'm going to pop behind you this so you can hopefully see that a bit better. So this is Mario Pose. There's a lot of background there, but exciting news. You can see Mario's cap just starting to appear. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's quite dark and dull in the UK today, so I put a bit of a lamp on, but hopefully you can see that okay. So I've been really excited to stitch on this. Last night I did a pop-up survey on Instagram and my personal Facebook profile, and it was an astounding stitch on Mario rather than this part 8 and the final part of the SAL. So, and I'm really pleased that I did, because we've got Mario appearing. It was a lot of background, but I'm really benefiting from all of the parked threads there. So if I haven't already, I'll show you a before picture, and you can see that whilst there's not been tons of progress, there's been enough there to justify me actually putting on the frame. Yeah, so I'm currently on 4.26%, so I've done around about 1% since last time. So like I say, not a massive amount, but the fabric is 25 count, easy grid or easy count, I never quite remember. And fabric, I absolutely love this. You previously used Magic Guide, but as you'll see later on, I've had problems with that fading quite quickly, whereas this, the grey one, seems to be a bit more sustainable. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and to stitching more on this. And in my plans section at the end, he may or may not be reappearing this month. So I'm just going to pop him down there. Okay, so next I'm going to show you Australia Adventures. So this is stitched on 16 count Zweigart fabric, and oh, I've just known that there's a random parked thread there. So this is the before picture, and this is after. It only got a weekend's worth of stitching, so three days stitching this month, but I'm really pleased. I'm just going to pop this behind again. I'm really pleased to see that I finished the camel, I have finished the boat here, and I've also finished what I thought was a burger, but actually it is some gold on a on a cart and a gold mine. So whilst I didn't get that many done, I finished 3 icons there, and really easy, and it's really lovely to get each little icon feels like a finish essentially. So 16 count Zweigart, very light blue fabric, and the threads I'm using DMC on that one, and the pattern is by Caterpillar Crossstitch. So that's Australia Adventures. And next I'm going to show you another item that was on my whip board, which is Sally Squirrel. Now this is what she's going to look like when finished. Sorry for the crinkling there. And up here will be what it looked like last time. So as I mentioned previously, this is stitched on 25 count magic guide, and you'll probably see when I show it up to you that there is a lot of fading on the fabric, but there's also an awful lot of park threads, but I find them really useful. I know some people hate park threads and don't like them all hanging down, but for me, really helpful in terms of basically stitching a large amount within a relatively short period of time. So okay, so here's Sally Squirrel. So been stitching more on her chest and the leaves from the acorn which she is holding. So Sally is currently at 70.80%. So 70.8%. The threads are the kit's own, which I think at the time by Gecko Rouge were DMC. I'm not sure if they are now, but this is a discontinued design because this was the SAL. This was the SAL in 2015, so she's been going quite a while, but no rush. I have been enjoying that one more since I've used the new technique of the park threads. Although I can't say that I'm particularly looking forward to all of the oak leaves at the bottom. But I have Sally. She is in a turtle, no, not another whip bag, yeah. That's that one with the autumnal leaves. I thought it was perfect for Sally, and yeah, I got her at a retreat a couple of years ago now. Do you know what? I came up on my time hop yesterday that I was actually at a retreat 2 years ago, towards the end of July in 2023. So I'll talk to you more about retreats towards the end of this and my plans. So that would be exciting for some reason. Australia Adventures, thread card, it's all over the place. Right, okay, so that's my whip so far. So my final whip, which I've touched on, is by Stitching Cabin, the Great Outdoors SAL, and I'm in the nature colourway, and I actually have finished part 7 of 8, so you can see it in full. So it's by Stitching Cabin. The fabric is by Stitchy Ferret. It's 18 count, and colourway is Candy Mountain. And I was really dubious about using this fabric when I first started. It was in my stash and I thought I would give it a go. And I've had quite a lot of lovely comments about how it complements all the colours wonderfully. And I completely agree with them. And you can see all the colours. And if I had the opportunity to buy in some more, I absolutely would. So I'm going to show that's it in its entirety. I'll just give you a close-up to what I was actually stitching on in July, part 7. So it was the largest part of the whole design. I was stitching these owls and these teapots and lanterns. So the owls were absolutely beautiful, but I stitched them a bit too close to the foxes. But I'm hoping that if I didn't tell you that, then you wouldn't notice. Unfortunately, I didn't notice until I was about 700 stitches into that one. So, well, over 700 stitches, and I just thought there's no way I'm unpicking all of that, particularly when this is the largest part. So that was just over 2,000 stitches there. And next month, I'll be able to tell you the full stitch count, which I'm going to download later on today. So that is stitch 2 over 1 with DMC. So yes, so that's lovely. And I will be stitching on that next month. So I've sort of skipped ahead with my plans. But okay, in terms of plans, I've just said that is the last month. August is the last month. I've got the chart ready, and the final sort of 2 rows, it might be easier for me to, it's basically, a lot of it is mirroring some of the top portion in terms of, it finishes right at the bottom with this green, but reversed at the bottom. And then there is a big row of zoomed in acorns and oak leaves. So really, really cute, and it's perfect to reflect against all of the lovely animals in that one. I really do enjoy stitching that, and it is the first ever SAL that I've ever kept up with. So I'm determined for a finish next month, so look out for that. In terms of my other plans, I'm going to stitch some more on Australia, but I'm probably only going to maybe a month, but it depends how quickly the SAL gets complete. I've decided to, because it's the last part, to monogamously stitch it from today and try and get it finished by the end of next weekend, which would be nice. My son has gone for a sleepover with his auntie, so that would mean that myself and my husband, we have a bit of spare time. But we'll probably just use that time to relax and just do things we want to do rather than what he wants to do. So yeah, so that's that. And in terms of the Whipgo board, there's 2 patterns that have been chosen on there. So, oh gosh, where have I put them? I've hidden them. Oh dear. So the first one, Mini Think Pink, reappears. So absolutely love this bag. Love this bag. So this is by Stitch Majig. Really, really robust. And if I take out the pattern, okay, if I take out the stitching, you might just be able to see that it's embroidered on the inside, which is gorgeous. Can't really see it with all the lovely goodness inside it, but it's still lovely. So yeah, so I love that. And going back to the actual whip, it's Mini Think Pink from HAED. I've been stitching this for quite some time now, but it's one of my favourite whips, although the way that I've been doing my rotations means that because it's a relatively short period of time, it feels like you're having a new start, so to speak, each time. So this is what Think Pink will look like, and this is what she currently looks like. So I'm going to be stitching more on her in August. So, not really folded this up very well, but hopefully you can see there. Fold there. There we go. There we go. And then I can see. So there's Minnie Think Pink, and she's just a gorgeous pink fairy. Pink is my favourite colour. So it's a strange one, really, why that came about. As a child, I really hated pink. I was a tomboy and really didn't like it. And if you asked me, I would have said sort of like lilac or purple as a child. But then when I was getting married and I was looking at all the dresses and stuff, I just thought I really like the pink ones. Hi, sorry, welcome back. I just had a minor disagreement with my camera stand. So I'm back now and I'm ready to start showing you the next Whip Go selection. So the next one is Minnie the 10th. Now, I stitched on this relatively recently, but didn't get much progress done. So this month I'm hoping to get an awful lot more stitching completed. So this is what it will look like when complete. And I call it my Doctor Who design. It can't be called Doctor Who for copyright reasons, but Minnie the 10th, I just think it's perfect. So here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'm just going to fold in the sides. Right, okay, so you can see that I'm working along the top in the Royal Rose method with a lot of park threads. I'm working towards the end of the row. I'm just over halfway, to be honest, but it would be nice to actually get as close to that as possible this month. I just love all the rich colours on this one, although saying that, there's a lot of browns and beiges in the Doctor's jacket or cloak, that appears like it's his jacket. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to working on Minnie the 10th this month. I'm going to pop him back in here. Oh gosh. So that's working on 25 count easy count fabric and using DMC threads again. So I've got this bag, which is a turtle based stitching bag, and I couldn't find anything space related, so I've got this Harry Potter one. I just thought, with lightning and the fact it got glasses, I just thought, why not? I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Well, I wouldn't say big, but I love the initial books, let's say. So that's in terms of my plans. If by any miracle I get through all of those, I'm going to get my tiny decisions wheel, which I created at the beginning of the year. And I intended that if I got everything done in a month, I'd spin that and do 3 days on a non-full coverage whip, which is work in progress, if you didn't know. Sorry, I keep on saying these abbreviations and not really explaining them for those that don't know. So apologies if you've not known that. So I'm going to be doing that because I think I just need a bit more variety in my life. And whilst I've loved the Stitching Cabin design, I really like to have some variety and just change it about. I was looking at my Whip Go board, which I've got here actually, I could probably show you. And this year is because I designed it so that I could have a real strong focus on my full coverages. But now we're just over halfway through the year, and it's not that I'm bored of it, it's just because I've got a lot of whips if you've seen my whip parade, and I'd really like to get something done on all of my other projects. So this is my whip go board in my stitching journal, and you can see there's all of my full coverages repeated as we go along. The only design that I haven't touched yet in here is it's Paris. It's called Paris by Charting Creations, and when that comes up I am going to be stitching on that. But aside from that, I think I might put the whip go board to bed. One thing I haven't mentioned to you is the Mario. I'm stitching that for my son. I would really like to be able to get that finished to him before he actually grows up and leaves home. So don't laugh, I would like to get that done. I don't even know, maybe say by 2030. So that gives me what, four and a bit years. So I need to calculate how much I need to be stitching on that. But I really did enjoy it last night in particular. I'm thinking that maybe I could stitch on that every month, and obviously once I've finished my SAL I'll have a little bit of extra time September onwards, so that would be great if I could really make some progress on that. Finish the top line. Have been working on some of the background piece. I sort of feel that I'll show it again so you can see what I mean. So the background bubbles, they're light lilac, and there's a load of white in the background, and then I'm going to be working more on the background this way, but then when I want a pop of colour I can pop back to his cap, do some more reds. There was quite a lot of confetti in the background as well, so I'm making right mess down here. So I would like to make some more progress on that. I know that I'm less than 5% of the way through, but it would just be really nice. Like, I mean, I'm relatively good at maths, but I need to put it on my Stitch Pal. If you've not heard of that, it's an app on a mobile phone, and it calculates, and you can put in the amount of stitches you stitch on each day, and it calculates how long it will take you to finish it, which actually is quite frightening to see for some of those. I think when I was doing, I can't remember now, I think when I first picked up the Squirrel, because I've been stitching on it for so long, it was actually saying that I wouldn't finish it until 2140 or something, and I was like, well, I'm not sure I'll be here by then. No, I definitely won't be here by then, so I better get a move on. But what happens if you stitch on a few hundred or even 1,000 off that in a relatively short period of time? That edges that figure down. So I'm going to get Mario onto there. I just haven't, because I've just been too lazy, if I'm honest, in finding out when I actually started that, which is sometime about 2 years ago. So that's all the progress I've made in 2 years. I need to speed it up, so I'm going to be stitching on that. And also in September, just looking a bit further ahead, I am doing a craft sale. I do other crafts as well, or have done other crafts in the past, as well as cross stitching, in particular card making and scrapbooking, stamping, embossing, all of that. And I just want to have a clear out, because I want to sort out my craft room, because there's things, including gifts and things that in reality I'm never going to get to, but also want to go through my cross stitching supplies and just be honest with myself, am I really going to get round to doing that? And what I intend to do is during August is do a FlossTube extra showing all of my cross stitch supplies, my stash, and it'd be really great to get your input into what you like, what you think I should start, what you maybe think I should part with, because you'll see the emotions on my face when I'm sharing that. So that would be great. So I'll be doing some sorting out for that, and hopefully in September. The sale is towards the end of September, and I will raise a little bit of money towards my cross-stitching retreat, which is the Floss Friend retreat in October. Oh, and some other plans that I hadn't told you about is I have decided on a design for that retreat, and I've got the threads, I've got the fabric somewhere, which I will find, and I'm going to stitch that up quickly in August. I've chosen a relatively small design, but I think it's cute, and I'm sure the recipient will enjoy it. And it's the craft club that I'm part of, in September, I'm hoping to actually fully finish it with them, because they're much better at dealing with that sort of thing. I'm just not really good at fully finishing. And another FlossTube extra that I want to do is to share with you all of the finished objects that I have completed, which I still own, that I haven't given away. You will see that most of them have not been finished. They're not framed. I've just got a couple, maybe 2 or 3 that I can maybe share with you that are framed. And yeah, so that's another FlossTube extra idea that I've got. Let me know your thoughts if you'd be interested in seeing either of those. And so, as I say, I've got the retreat in October, so saving and putting some money aside to have that, and I will show from my perspective and my experience of what the retreat looks like. If you've never been to a retreat, ask me any questions. If there's anything you want me to particularly show you, then please let me know. This month I haven't got any haul to show you. There is something on its way, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I hopefully will be able to show you that in September. So that's really it for me. And on a personal basis, been really busy with work. I'm a project manager, and that's why I wanted to let go for this FlossTube, because you probably saw the side of me being a bit too professional for this sort of environment, and hope that I feel like I'm within friends. So yes, so work's been particularly stressful these past couple of months, and I really just want to focus on me for a bit. And I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, please press subscribe and like. I really do appreciate it, and all the engagement I get, it's great. Thank you so much, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Bye for now.